Tonight on the Cooligans, we are discussing the Messi red card, which we're not used to seeing. So we try to figure out why that happened. Also, we talk about the NWSL draft and Jordan Morris going to Swansea.
That's right. Plus, we talked to Justin Morrow of TFC and the Black Players for Change. We talk about a lot of serious stuff, and Christian and I try to joke around a little bit. That and more today on the Cooligans! Yeah, baby!
Let's go. Let's do this, okay? I am locked in. I got my seatbelt on.
Okay, you all strapped in, ready for whatever action comes your way?
Yes, I am thrilled about today's show. I mean, we got an incredible guest. We have us. So that's
it. I mean, my favorite guest is you, Christian.
My favorite guest is also me. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, damn, I didn't get what I wanted there.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cooligans. My name is Christian Polanco.
That's right. I'm Alexis Guerreros.
All right. We are your favorite stand-up comedians that host the funniest soccer show that has ever existed in el mundo.
That's right. And we also happen to be the most el gulliest in el mundo.
Okay. Okay. Welcome to the Cooligans on Telemundo. All right.
All right. It's now Fubo.
Okay. Put a little accent mark over the U.
Okay.
We're excited about today's show. Again, we're joined by Justin Morrow of Toronto FC, one of the co-founders of the Black Players for Change organization. So we have a lot to discuss. So I'm excited to have him on the show today. And also, let's start with some Messi news. Okay,
that's right, because Messi making it messy, bro. Messi been watching telenovelas. Speaking of el fútbol,
we're not used to when it comes to Messi and Lionel Messi and drama. It's usually like more political, you know what I mean?
It's very open letter, right?
Yeah.
An open letter to the owners of blank, an open letter to, to the fans.
Yeah. What did he say? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a lot of those.
His lawyer did not co-sign any of this. He was like, I'm just gonna go off the cuff here and see what happens with these hands you're about to catch.
All right, because you've heard I got I'm left-footed. I got a good left foot, but I got a strong right hand too, my friend. Okay?
Right? Dude, he straight smacked the dude. He just smacked the dude during gameplay.
Yeah. You can't do that in soccer. And I mean, Messi, I don't know if Messi knows that or doesn't know. He's just never in a situation where Messi is just such a high-profile player. Whatever, best player in the world. If you don't agree, you don't agree, whatever. But there are certain players that they're above any nonsense, they're like where you have there's usually somebody else on the team that if somebody messes with that player, that teammate is like, yo, I'm handling this, you don't touch him, okay? Right. Here's our Fabergé egg, you don't mess with him. Right.
There's usually someone who's like, you try to mess with the best player on my team, you got to worry about me.
Yeah.
Messi, let that dude have a day off. That's how much he cares about him.
Okay. You good, amigo, right? Because he was like, I'll handle this myself. We're currently, losing right now in extra time to Athletic Bilbao. It's like, nah. It's 100. I don't care what time it is. Okay, I'm gonna let these fools know that you don't mess with Leo. And
he's like, I'm out of Spain anyway. You know what I mean? Who cares?
Yeah, this is Messi's senior year. You know what I mean? He got full senioritis. He's like, you suspend me. I ain't gonna be here in a couple days.
Exactly. He's like, like when you give your 2 weeks notice at a job. Yeah. That's where he's in right now. And they're like, yo, you can't be wearing flip-flops to the office. He's like, what you gonna do, fire me? I'm gone in 2 weeks, and good luck finding a stapler when I leave.
Yeah, it's just I don't you're gonna give me a review? Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Not really interested anymore.
Why don't you make the meeting for 2 weeks and a day from today?
Because yes, it was the final for the Supercopa, Look, Barcelona's usually not in this position outside of this season. They're not having the greatest of seasons, and they were losing this game. And it was a strange, frustrating moment where Messi obviously looks like he is trying to get around the player, but he's so frustrated he just wants to kind of hit him a little bit, let him know that he's still there.
Well, he threw his arms around so that they're behind the player, right?
Yeah.
And looks like he was maybe going to shove his shoulder a little bit, but he thought, what if I aim a little higher at the back of this dude's head? My favorite moment, though, is when the dude hits the ground, it goes to VAR. Messi decides I feel bad. I should go over there and check my man's pulse and disrespect him a second time.
Yo, can I get 2 red cards? Is that possible?
Why don't we make it a 3.5 game ban? Because I need to go get this roast off real quick.
But yeah, it does look like he will be suspended for what? Is it 2 match?
I believe it's.
Two match ban, so not just one, the standard one game. Look, we're not used to seeing this from Messi, so obviously it's gonna make some news. The interesting thing here,
watch for the Instagram pics of him and his family in Ibiza during these 2 matches.
The interesting thing is when I noticed this, people were criticizing this online. I think it was either Bleacher Report or ESPN. I don't remember who exactly. It might have been both. But when you notice this, whenever Barcelona are losing or not doing well, they post a picture of Lionel Messi and say Barcelona loses. Whenever Cristiano Ronaldo, whatever team he's on, so he's at Juve. Whenever Juve is losing, they just lost to Inter, right? Mm-hmm. They post a picture of Pirlo. They post a picture of the coach. So it's an interesting thing where it doesn't matter. Some people are suggesting that Lionel Messi is more heavily criticized than Cristiano Ronaldo, but they're always in the debate of who's the best. And it sort of feels like by the way they are covered, you're basically saying that Messi is the best player because they're always focusing on him.
Well, I would say that, but it's clear to me that it's because, Cristiano Ronaldo comes from the Iberian area. They give him a little bit more respect. You know how they feel about us from that area, from being Latin America or South America. You know how they be acting about us.
Okay.
They're like, look at these savages, in Latin America, can't even win a soccer game,
Yeah, look, I feel like Bleacher Report should stop using that caption. But
they're making it worse.
Just to be clear, they have not posted that, but whatever. This is Alexis's theory, and fine, he can live with that.
I don't mean Bleacher Report. I mean the Spanish. How the Spanish view it. Bleacher Report, I don't think it has an anti-Latin American slant.
Okay, I'm glad we cleared that up. But no, we'll see what, again, it is an interesting situation for Messi because I think there is a little bit of lashing out, acting out. He's not been happy with Barcelona. He hasn't been happy with their leadership. He doesn't like the way the season is going. And, if Barcelona's at the top of the table and winning this game, I don't think Messi's slapping dudes. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking he's keeping his cool.
Or maybe this is the new Messi. This is what to expect at Manchester City. He's just going to be throwing hands.
Yo, Trent Alexander-Arnold. What, you want some or what?
Yo, Virgil van Dijk, you might want a Virgil van back your ass up. We got more. We get back after this. All right, baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC. And one of my favorite things about the MLS postseason is all of the folks coming in. You know what I mean? You got all these exciting new signings, 22-year-old Paraguayans we've never heard of.
Yeah.
Coming from clubs that are have a dude's name in English for some reason and they play in Bolivia. Like Joel Witherspoon. How is that? That's the name of your club? All right. But you very rarely get news of MLS players, or it seems to be much more active these days, MLS players going out, especially to Europe.
Yes,
and Jordan Moore seems to be next on that list.
Yes, an American player going to England. So it looks like Jordan Morris, who, look, we had Brad Evans on recently. We had...
Well, technically not going to England. He's going to Wales.
That's right.
Yeah.
The UK, at the very least. He is going to Swansea. That's all the rumors are suggesting. All the reports are suggesting that there were a couple clubs that were interested in signing him, but it looks like he's going to be going to Swansea for a 6-month loan deal with an option to buy. Swansea are currently, I believe, in second place in the Championship, so it's looking like they'll be back in the Premier League soon. And but Jordan Morris going there, right? We were I mentioned before, we had Brad Evans on the show. Jordan Morris was heavily criticized by Alexis Guerrero's of the
I don't know. I remember it being Brad. How do you guys remember it?
Okay. About, not taking the opportunity a couple years ago to go to Germany and play. But now Jordan Morrison is in a much better position, I would say, in a stronger, stronger negotiating power and stuff like that. And he can kind of go to a bunch of different clubs as opposed to one bad one in Germany, right? Werder Bremen.
And he is going on loan.
Yes.
And as of right now, it's just a 6-month loan, which the last time I remember a player leaving MLS for a loan in the Championship or Premier League or just the UK was Landon Donovan. Am I mistaken? That's the last time to Everton?
Yeah. To Everton, yeah.
And that worked out really well. In fact, most people would have wished he stayed, right?
Very much so, yeah. So I don't know how, I don't know, like the logistics of as far as a 6-month loan to like be able to bring your puppy, but I think he should still be able to do that, right, Jordan Morris?
Or what if he hates the dog now?
He's trying to get away from the puppy. Yeah.
It's why he stayed before, and now he's like, I did it. You know what I mean? It's a lot of responsibility. Okay. But I'm a little worried because the last American at Swansea was Bob Bradley, and I don't remember them treating him too well.
It did not go well. They made those that sketch, the Brad Bobley. Remember that?
Yeah.
You know,
the Soccer AM.
There was a lot. There were a lot of jokes. Jordan Morris is in a better position to impress than Bob Bradley was, so I think he'll do well. We saw, Jack Harrison go from MLS to the Championship and do really, really well. Jordan Morris, we had tweeted out basically a bit of shock that he probably could, I could see Jordan Morris in the Premier League already or in Bundesliga. To go to a second division club is probably him being like, I don't need to put the most pressure on myself right now. Let's see how this goes. I don't want
the full spotlight.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it's like sort of a better space for him to really test the waters. And I think if it goes well, and I believe if they get promoted, they have the option to buy. I don't know the exact details. We'll know that soon. But I think he's going to do well there. Jordan Morris has been absolutely on fire. He's like easily one of the best players in Major League Soccer, one of the best wingers easily. And I think he's going to handle himself just fine. He's a big dude.
I know. I'm just a little worried that going to Swansea to see if you like the UK is a lot like going to Linden, New Jersey to see if you like the United States of America. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. I think I signed up for the wrong tour.
You're going to Northern Baltimore for your honeymoon? You know what I mean? Like, that's what we've decided.
It was affordable. I go, it's America. How bad could it be?
It's just a loan. I'll come back. I don't know that you're really getting a sense for what the UK has to offer. I mean, obviously you'll travel around with the club, but Swansea, come on.
Look, we wish him the best, and look, there'll be a lot of eyes on him, and a lot of Americans and Sounders fans will be watching Swansea games, for the rest of the season. Because
show up in a shirt that says it's called soccer, please.
All right, we got more coming up right after this. And the NWSL draft was Thursday last week, and a bunch of
and you won.
And you won.
You won the draft.
You won you signed a couple players, made a lot of trades, got money. I mean, everything seems to be going very well. What was that like for you? Just handling that whole process?
Tiring.
Okay.
In short, long week. Obviously, a lot of planning leading up to the draft. And as I say, you've got to be nimble to the process because you never know what's going to happen. You know, we had been in Pew's a player we had been targeting, and we got to a point where, you know, it looked like the Spirit were going to hold on to her for 2020. Came about draft morning that reopened again. So, again, being nimble to the process. And it was a big surprise for us to have her come back on the table essentially after we had already moved our number 2 and 3 picks into a different situation. So for us, just really exciting to have that open up, and we jumped at it, took that opportunity, and like you said, I think we're stoked coming out of the draft when you can get your top target and a draftee that we were looking at in Evelyn Vienne, pick up Mal Pugh, and then also get some allocation money as well. It's an exciting day.
All right, welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC, and make sure to stick around with us because we will be joined by Justin Morrow right after the upcoming break. I want to do this real quick. This would be a nice surprise. Nobody's seen this. I haven't even
including me.
Yeah. Alexa has not seen this. So I needed new shoes, like new like for when it's raining or snowing, but I didn't want to get boots because I just don't really like boots. So I wanted to get like waterproof shoes, like sneakers.
Okay, I was gonna say you out here in dress shoes in the snow.
So I got these Vans, right? And I was like looking on Vans, and they have like these waterproof sneakers, but they didn't have any colors I liked, so I made custom ones,
Which take like 6-7 weeks, doesn't it?
It took like 4.
Okay.
So I got these custom ones, and look, I'm calling these the Cooligans customs because look, I mean they're dope, right? They look pretty cool.
They're dope. Nice
right?
Boots, Vans.
Waterproof.
Everybody loves them.
But look at the back.
Stay gully. Yo, let's go.
Isn't this cool?
That is so dope.
Yeah.
How much did that cost you?
Too much money.
Okay, sounds about right.
But I'm happy I got that. I needed new, stuff, shoes for the rain, and so I'm glad I got them. Okay.
Well, everyone listening, if I don't know, you own a major label of clothing, let's come up with Cooligan sneakers so Christian doesn't have to spend too much money on Vans.
I do want to talk about the NWSL draft that happened a couple days ago, and a couple notable picks. And the obviously the Emily Fox was selected number 1 for Racing Louisville.
Right.
And
shouts to them. They're putting together a pretty nice team over there.
Yes, and then the more high-profile names, I think, were 2 and 3. The Washington Spirit selected Trinity Rodman, and Sky Blue FC selected Brianna Pinto. Brianna Pinto, we saw when I've seen a bunch of youth national team games, especially during the I forgot what age bracket, but like the U19 World Cup or something like that. And Brianna Pinto was unbelievable. She's amazing. She's got, Sky Blue traded Mallory Pugh to Chicago Red Stars. I think Pinto will be a good replacement for at that position. And
Pinto left school early, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Pretty much everybody. The Trinity Rodman did as well because schools are not, because of COVID, they're not. They don't have the resources to be able to run games safely and things like that. So they don't even really know what's going on. So it's like stay in school and don't pursue your dream and just, do algebra homework all day or become a professional athlete. And I think that's why they made that decision.
Trinity Rodman also pretty famous because of her dad.
Yes.
And this became a topic of conversation all over the sports world of people who almost never bring up not only soccer, but specifically NWSL. I heard it during a Knicks broadcast.
Yeah.
They were like, Trinity Rodman was selected. Dennis Rodman's daughter was selected second in the NWSL draft. And they're like, no one's talking about that. And it's like, yeah, people are, but you aren't.
Yeah. So it's made news more, not because she got selected second, more because she is Dennis Rodman's daughter. And it's been a thing where it can get a little annoying because it's like she's an incredible athlete. I've seen a couple of her games as well. She's really, really good. But it's difficult difficult to sort of. This happens with a lot of athletes where their parents are players, where they have to shine a bigger light. They like live in their parents' shadow.
Yeah.
And
imagine being called Michael Jordan Jr. That guy. There's nothing you can do.
Well, there is a Michael Jordan Jr.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
And he's trash at basketball.
Yeah. There was no chance he was going to be good.
It's just that you have to be. Dennis Rodman is obviously a Hall of Famer. It's different than like Steph Curry and Del Curry. Like Del Curry, like people, they're like, "Yo, you played. I think I have your basketball. I think I have like 4 of your baskball cards."
Yeah, I think I heard my uncle swear once when you missed the 3-pointer and he lost money. That's Del Curry.
It's a little easier, for a guy like Steph Curry to outshine his father's career, even though he had a very great career. But it's going to be a little tougher for Trinity Rodman. But I honestly think she can. I think she could be a bigger name in sports if she gets to, the women's national team level, World Cups, things like that. I think she's good enough and capable of being a more popular figure than her father.
And also, I hope she picks the U.S. women's national team because, she also does qualify for the North Korean women's national team because of her father. So
yes, okay. So, yeah.
I haven't Googled it, but I think so. I think he can pull strings,
Very interesting to see her play for that team. I mean, her father would be very proud.
Yeah. We got Justin Morrow. We get back after this. All right, baby, we back on the Cooligans living room. I've seen Christian, our guest, is finally here.
I am absolutely thrilled because this dude, not only is he a great player, obviously plays for Toronto FC, but he's also I've seen him live in person do just absolutely amazing thing, win MLS Cups.
We've seen him lose MLS Cups. We've seen him win MLS Cups.
We've seen him win. And we've also seen his team break our hearts as well. Yes. So there's a lot to discuss.
This dude, absolutely amazing. He is one of the, he's an executive director for the Black Players for Change. And when we got a chance to be a part of the sort of the media launch call, it was really great to hear this dude speak and just talk about how passionate he is about some of the stuff he's doing, not just on the field, but off the field in ways that he can make change. And I can't wait for him to talk about it here. The pride of Cleveland, Ohio. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together unless you're driving for the one, the only TFC's own Justin Morrow, everybody.
Hey, what's up, Alexis? How you doing, Christian?
What's going on, man?
We're doing great. Thank you so much for joining us. And there's obviously so many subjects to discuss. I feel like we should start with simply how you're doing, especially with, we've had a lot of players on the show during COVID and all this other stuff. But Toronto FC had a much more unique experience. The Canadian teams had a much more unique experience than any of the others because they had to play in the United States and they had, you had to find some location to play.
And Toronto FC of Cleveland, of Connecticut, United States of America.
What was it like? I mean, obviously it's very difficult, obviously being away from family, being isolated, but then you're in Connecticut and you got to find stuff to do and find stuff to just maintain some sanity. What was that experience like for you guys?
There wasn't, finding any balance there. It was soccer the whole time. Luckily, we had a good group of guys. Obviously, we're in nice organizations that take care of us in a lot of different ways, took care of our families back at home, paid for certain things. So we felt comfortable there. But there's just no getting around it. It was tougher on us. We had some things like the XL Center where UConn used to play basketball games. That was right across the street, and they had that rented out for us so we could go and shoot some hoops sometimes if we wanted to, or the coaches played
cool.
some floor hockey.
Who can ball? Who can ball on TFC? I'm curious.
I'm going to say it's Josie. I think Josie.
No, I feel like Josie
got handles.
Top heavy.
Josie got a good shot.
He can back you down.
We weren't playing 21. We weren't playing pickup. We would go over there and play horse or whatnot, but we weren't trying to get hurt, But yeah, it was
Toronto
about the
kids
only thing.
take it seriously,
it was about the only thing we could do.
How did
Okay.
it feel being all the Canadian teams had to go into cold Orlando, as I like to call all the places you guys had to be? Like you were locked in Orlando, and then you got to get locked in Connecticut. Do you think it actually does it make the team play better being in a situation where you're essentially in a camp? You know what I mean? Like it's all soccer all the time.
I think there's positives and negatives to it. You know, it definitely brings you closer. It puts a chip on your shoulder because you're fighting through things that other teams aren't fighting through, specifically the Hartford one. Obviously, Orlando, everyone was there. But at the same time, it could just wear on you because there's just no escape. You know, you're away from your family for months on end, and you can't really go out. And even if you wanted to, Hartford, Connecticut, they didn't have the most options to be able to do stuff, you know? So you want to keep yourself safe. You want to keep your teammates safe and not be the one that really messes things up for them, because we're also competing and trying to win championships, you know? So there wasn't much balance there, like I said, but we got it done. Now everyone is enjoying their off seasons, at least the people that are spread around the world with their families. And everyone will be getting ready to come back soon.
Okay.
That's right. And you're trapped in Canada, right? Like you have to stay there. You can't really come into the U.S. and back and forth. So that must make it easy, right? When your family's like, could you come over? I got to put this thing. My computer doesn't. And you'd be like, I can't go to Cleveland right now.
I can't go anywhere. It's lockdown measures here, stay at home orders. They shut down schools. They shut down everything again right after Christmas. So yeah, pretty strict.
Okay. All right. Well, look, at least some countries are taking it a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
So the other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit is your obviously Greg Vanny, your coach, obviously stepped down. Obviously going to be coaching the LA Galaxy, but obviously a long tenure with him. What was your relationship like? What is your relationship like? And then how do you think it will affect the team? Just having a new head coach. Obviously, Chris Harmis is going to be coaching TFC.
Yeah, it was tough to see Greg go. You know, we're very close, been through everything together in these 7 years, and really felt like we built something special together. And when you see someone like that go, it's tough because they mean so much to you personally, so much to the club. So much of the club's identity was based around Greg and the way he had us playing on the field and the culture that he built. But there's still a core group of players here that have been through a lot of good things, been through a lot of bad things. You know, we're battle tested. We're pretty close on the field and off the field. So there's no doubt in my mind that we can have success here moving forward. And we're all really excited to have Chris. You know, he's a guy that knows the league very well, knows us, coaching against us for a long time. A number of us have had conversations with him already, so it's exciting to hear what the possibilities are for 2021.
Dude, you're about to have a Cuban coach from New York in Toronto. I mean, that is the most internet. I can't wait until people from Toronto get a load of his accent.
Though. That's the most, like, Toronto is incredible. But when people ask me what's the best part about Toronto, I always say the people, because it's just generations on top of generations of people that have come here, mixed with each other, created beautiful babies that are loving and passionate about the community, really take care of each other. So it's a nice place to be, but it's pretty indicative of how the culture is here.
That's what I love about Toronto. Everyone is it's not far from America, and everyone is just like, the kindness is like, what is different about it? Because you're in Toronto, everyone's so kind. You step over to Buffalo and you're like, whoa, what did I step into? What?
Why are you here? Who are you?
It's a different world. I didn't know anything about it until I got traded here, and everyone that I was playing with at the time that had played in Toronto was like, oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And yeah, been here going on my 8th year now, and I do love it.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, have you met Drake yet? I feel I have to ask every Toronto player. You met Drake yet? What's up?
No. Drake be around with some of the guys, but I'm not that guy that's out all the time, so I haven't.
Okay. Well,
I mean, if you hear, let us know. We'll sneak through the border. You know what I mean?
all right. We got so much more with Justin Morrow coming right up after this. All right, Welcome back to the Cooligans Living Room FC. We are here with Justin Morrow, and we have to talk about the BPC, the Black Player for Change organization. There is, Alexis had mentioned it during your introduction, that we were on the initial media call for this when you were announcing it. And it is surreal to us, because again, we're both stand-up comics and we're in this soccer space. And then when we get invited to things that are like legit important, we're like, okay, do we belong here? Like, it's always that concern.
It always feels like we snuck in and we're like, whatever you do, don't say anything.
But no, it's been this past like 10 months has been transformative for us as well. And thanks to people like you for kind of helping spread more just either information or just doing positive things for the community. I want to talk a little bit about why you started Black Players for Change and how it started, and some of the things that you are doing. I mean, just recently I've been seeing you guys are also working with the Black Women's Player Collective and opening mini pitches and things like that. So can you give a quick synopsis of what you guys are doing?
Yeah, so it wasn't about me starting it. I think the most important thing about us as an organization is that it's a group of players, like this very large group, over 100 players in our league that came together, and that's so special. I don't think that you see that anywhere else. And so we hopped on a call shortly after the death of George Floyd, and it was really passionate. None of us had seen each other in person for months because of COVID. So we were very emotional seeing each other. There was seriousness, there was jokes. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do in terms of protests. And then guys had some really passionate speeches about why we should make an organization that was going to last, something that was going to be of our own, so that we could speak up on issues that we felt were important. And that's where it all started. And like I said, it wasn't about me. Eventually I was elected into this position of executive director, which I've been honored to hold and guide the organization a little bit. But it's been incredible to see what these players have been able to accomplish. And really it's so special because they're the ones driving it. We have hired lawyers, we have communication, brand PR, but outside of that, we completely decide the direction of everything and execute on it. And that's so cool, because guys that are normally used to competing against each other are now fighting hand in hand off the field for something that we came together and bonded over. And that's what's so special. I remember games last year of competing against guys at night, and then hours later, the next morning, I'm on a Zoom call with them, talking about how we're going to execute on a program, or talking to folks like you. So many memorable calls that we had last year.
You could show them the cleat mark that you left on me. You know what I mean?
It's actually a really great competitive advantage. Be like, if I'm playing against you, Justin, I'd be like, yo, Justin, you needed on like 4 calls today. Yeah, right. So you're not going to make training. You know what I mean? You're going to be wild tired.
That was the story of my life last year. Zoom call. Oh, man.
And I just, like, we've had a couple players on that are involved as well. Like we've spoken to Sean Johnson. Mm-hmm. We've spoken to CJ Sapong. And it's been there is a certain sense of confidence and comfort in, I don't know if maybe things were different before, where some players didn't feel comfortable talking about these issues because they were worried how it would affect their standing either with the team or things like that. And that's been a great thing. I'm curious just the perspective of the organization. And I'm sure you've had these conversations either in like a chat or a thread or whatever. The Capitol being stormed and seeing how people people are treated who do something like that literally is treason.
I still can't sleep just seeing the video of everyone getting their hands slapped as they're leaving the Capitol. So different.
When you see things like that, does it make it even, does it push you even more and motivate you more to keep fighting this fight because of the clear and obvious inequities in how we are policed?
Or does it motivate you to get a Canadian citizenship? And can you help us?
play for the national team all of a sudden?
Yeah. I mean, it's all motivating. Like we seeing something like that is obviously it's blunt, it's visceral, it hits you in the face right away and you feel it. But there are other roadblocks that we face day in and day out, which can be discouraging at times, but are also motivating because it's like, all right, this is real. This is what we're fighting against. This is the system. And we have the opportunity to do that. You know, Christian, when you're talking about an event happening where people are storming the Capitol, something unprecedented, historic, and we're all in a group chat and we're talking. And that's the moment where I feel the most energy from the group, when the guys are connected. We're checking in with the guys in DC. Hey, is everyone okay? The guys that are there for off season right now, the guys that play there, what's going on with you guys? Are you safe? You know, what are we going to do about this? How is this going to build into our plans moving forward? There were so many moments like that last year, you know, August 24th or 25th, when the Bucks decided not to play and we followed suit. Like that was hours of chaos. The Bucks decided at 4 p.m. and our first kickoff, I think, was at 7 p.m. And so the amount of collaboration that happened there in just those few hours to get those games postponed and the guys not to play, like those are memories that'll stick with me forever, and moments that build energy in our organization when we see what we can accomplish. So yeah, for sure, it's motivating.
Yeah.
For those of us who can't see it, right, because we're not a part of the organization and we're not on the calls, we're not on the meetings, in, you know, as honest as you can be, what has been the reaction of the different authority folks that you have to deal with? Obviously not just the league in itself, but in all the different authority groups that you try to have some influence and some change on. What has been the reception, or at least from your perspective?
Well, initially the reception is always positive. You know, there's at times contrition, at times acknowledgement.
Was it like that real high pitch, like, this is great, this is great?
Okay, I'll post an MLK quote and we're all good, right?
Yeah, right. Couple Instagram stories, go away real quick.
There is some genuineness there, but you know, when you're sitting at home and you see a human being being killed and it takes 8 minutes 46 seconds and you're watching it, of course there's a human reaction there, right? And so with all of these things, like I've seen over time, there's a wave, and initial reactions, like I said, it was a lot of positivity, a lot of openness. Our organization has gotten to where we are today because of all the collaboration that we've been able to do. People opening their doors, opening their pocketbooks, you know, jumping on calls. And that stuff is great. But then when it comes down to making systemic change, you know, for the rubber to hit the road, that's when things get more difficult. And those are the barriers that I'm talking about that can be discouraging at times. And so we've had a lot of success so far, but we got a long way to go, and all of us are strapped in for the fight.
Nice. We got a lot more with Justin Morrow. We'll get back after this. All right, baby, we're back on the Cooligans Living Room FC. And, you know, Justin, I'm sure Christian's going to have a much more insightful question coming up next. But I want to know, you're from Cleveland, all right? I've performed in Cleveland. Shouts to Pickwick and Frolic and Hilarities out there. One of the best clubs in the country. What food is Cleveland known for? Because nobody has any clue. It doesn't seem like y'all are known for anything, right? Like New York, pizza, right? LA, tacos. The hell is Cleveland known for?
I think that's a fair question. I think we're known for celebrity chefs more than we are known for actual food. I don't know. I think we can get some good hamburgers, some good cheeseburgers in downtown Cleveland. But to be honest, it's been a while since I've been living there. So your guess is as good as mine.
You're like, let them figure it out.
I mean, at least in Toronto, do you like I mean, you're a professional athlete, so you're not like scarfing down poutine all day. But is there anything that you enjoy and appreciate in Toronto?
That's the great part about Toronto, is that you can get everything. You can get everything here. You know, I was introduced to foods that I had never had before I moved here. jerk chicken.
A lot of Caribbean food.
Jerk chicken. I was about to say jerk chicken is something special here. You know, there's a lot of Caribbean people that live here, and so that's been one of my favorites.
Okay.
Nice.
I want to talk a little bit about Toronto FC and look, the level of excellence, especially the last couple of years, has just been incredible. The standard is so high. Obviously, whether it's
you're talking about the level of play, right? Not Pasuelo's fade, because that
lack of fade. It's just a line.
Just homie got a straight line. Like, I need a fade real bad.
I didn't know.
Dude is in like Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, right? He looks like he's in Blade 3. What is happening to my man's head?
But being a part of an organization that the expectation is not simply just to make the playoffs. And look, and Toronto FC had it when they got into the league. They had a rough start. But the last couple of years, and you've been a huge part of that. What's it like just to have been a part of that level of excellence? And then you guys are constantly in the MLS Cup final.
It's annoying.
It works out. Look, we're NYCFC fans. And then we can talk about our relationship with Toronto FC.
Yeah.
But
it's time you lose our number as opposed to having our number this whole time.
But being a part of so many MLS Cup finals, winning Supporter Shield. Also CCL. You guys was this close to winning the CONCACAF Champions League. What have those experiences been like to win it all and also fall short sometimes?
Yeah, I said that to a couple of people this offseason. Like, we've been through a lot of highs, but we've also been through a lot of lows. And because of that, we're closer as a team. But being a team that is expected to win and expect from themselves to win makes everything more fun, in my opinion, because I've been on a team before where the expectation wasn't there. And so when I had my birthday this past October, we were in Hartford, and they were always bringing out cakes for all the guys that celebrated their birthdays while we were there. And they made everyone get up and speak. And I thought about what I was going to say. And I just told the young guys, I was like, don't ever take it for granted being on a team that expects to win and is expected to win every single game, because that's a special feeling and it's fun. It makes everything more fun.
Okay. Yeah, you said you've been through highs and lows. Right now, I can actually hear Vancouver Whitecaps going, "What lows are you talking about? Explain to me what a low is for you."
I want to talk about that. I don't know if it's a rivalry, but NYCFC and Toronto have. The matches are
it's a brawl
definitely
every
intense.
time,
and definitely again, I was at the playoff game at Citi Field when and I'm like 20 feet away from where Matarrita fouls Richie Leray in the box, and I'm like,
Matarrita off to Cincinnati. How you feel about that, by the way, man?
Well, look, speaking of teams that don't expect to win, Cincinnati is that.
I can't wait for him to try to buy a bedazzled shirt in Cincinnati and be like, "You just don't sell this here."
But what are those sort of matches like, and preparing for playoff matches? Because for Toronto, I feel like every team is out for them. I don't know if Toronto is looking at any other team and being like, "Oh, right, these are our rivals" or whatever. It feels like you guys have the target on your back all the time.
Even in Mexico.
The New York City games, by and large, have been highly tactical. We played in the playoffs against Vieira, who loved to have his team play out of the back. They played, a certain system, all the pieces in order and whatnot. So we prepared for that. And then when we played against, I think Dome was still there when we played in Citi Field. Same thing. Yeah. Very, very tactical. He's been under Pep for a long time. So with Greg being so tactical, I felt like they were more of a chess match than anything. Like, I think they got heated at times. Not so much as some of our other opponents. Certainly when I think of Montreal or Red Bull or even Seattle, I think of a little bit more clashes there. When I think of the New York City games, I think of chess matches.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it does make sense. It makes sense, right? Because it's almost like manager versus manager, tactics versus tactics. When it comes down to that, how much of it during the game is it you just saying like, I got to watch this dude, I got to watch my zone, or you're thinking like, you know, the red yarn on the wall of like, if this player is moving here, I got to go there. Does instinct just take over for you, or?
It's not instinct. It's just so much preparation. Like, you guys understand how much preparation goes into those moments. We go over those scenarios so much for, you know, in playoffs, you have a decent amount of time to prepare these things. So you're talking about more than 7 days of being on the field. And like you're saying, okay, if he goes here and I go here and what does this look like? And so there's been times where even in those New York City matches where some of the same scenarios are happening one after another, and I'm thinking, I wonder what the fans are thinking right now, because they're seeing sort of the same thing happening, you know, and it really does feel like two teams that know each other very well, and who's gonna get the best out of their strategy on that night, which is interesting.
Yeah, as a fan, we're simply thinking like, "Yo, get by him. What's the big deal? I get by him in FIFA all the time. What are you doing?
You know." And also, just to clarify, no, we don't know how you prepare. Right? Our production laughed when you said that. Our fans are laughing, listening, and watching. No, we have no clue.
We're not the experts out here. We know how to get upset, and we're happy. Yeah. You know,
we deal a lot in charisma. I don't know if that's enough to get on in the league.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, we got more with Justin Morrow of TFC. Come right up after this. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on another incredible episode of the Cooligans. Thank you to Justin Morrow for not only joining us, but dropping knowledge, dropping some TFC insider secrets.
That was in the break. We ain't going to tell you what it said.
But no, on a serious note, Justin is obviously doing just incredible work. Make sure you look into and support the Black Players for Change organization. They're doing a bunch of great stuff that I'm sure Justin will talk about a little bit more. Justin, is there anything you want to let people know about before we sign off?
Yeah, thanks. Continue to follow us. The support that we've had so far has been incredible. Our socials are BPC MLS. Blackplayersforchange.org is our website. We're going to continue building these mini pitches with U.S. Soccer Foundation and Black Women's Players Collective, which Christian talked about earlier. We're so excited about to join forces with them and build some fields that are going to help with the Black women's space in soccer and how they're marginalized there. And then we're going to be involved in our local markets and look out for that, for all the guys getting activated in their cities that they're playing in. All the fans are going to have a good chance to get involved with what we're doing. So I'm looking forward to that in 2021.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Keep fighting, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you for building a mini pitch in Newark, where I'm born and raised. That means the world to me.
Yeah. Make sure to follow Justin as well at Just Morrow, right? On social media as well, and check out. So maybe he's just doing like some great selfies. I don't know. You might want to look at those.
Check out my quarantine routine. Got 13 days left.
It's all thirst traps. You guys got to check it out.
And so everyone else, please follow us as well at Soccer Cooligans on all social media channels. Make sure follow us at eltwiche.com if you would like to see us on Twitch, and follow Fubo Sports at Fubo Sports, and subscribe to the Fubo Sports YouTube channel for full episodes of the program. All right, let us end the show the way we normally do. So Justin Morrow, as is tradition, right? So for Justin Morrow, my name is Christian Polanco.
I'm Alexis Guerreros.
And together, what are we?
The Cooligans!